Hi, you guys. So I know some of us are very new to online classes. D2L is also new to Front Range, and it's changed a little bit. So I figured we'd go through and I can show you a couple of the features, where to find things, and then of course we'll go to my math lab and I can walk you through a couple of things there, things that you'll need to know and things that you'll actually use. So to start off, I already have your guys' page brought up, but to find it, if you click on these 9 little dots, it brings up all of your courses. And you can see like everything I have pulled up, but to get to yours, it'll be MAT 121 502 College Algebra with Daniel. You click on that and it'll bring you to this front page. Right now you can see my last announcement as your online supplemental instructor, and then if you keep scrolling, it's older announcements. Now to get rid of these, you can always, let's go to one. So drop for non-attendance, you can get rid of these by just clicking the X's, and then it minimizes your scrolling. So if you've already read through this stuff, don't want to see it again, click an X, it'll update it, and then you only have the 2 left currently. So to get to everything, you'll want to go to course materials, and the number one thing that you're going to use is the content. You can go to the calendar, but some professors don't use the calendar very often. If you're taking more than one online class, you want to be very open to that idea, so that way this applies to everything. So a lot of professors don't use the calendar. Locker is your own little thing. You can use it, don't use it. Class list is everybody in your class. So if we go to content, you'll have all of your content here on the right hand side. Now your view is probably going to be a little bit differently than mine, and it may not be open yet. So right now I can show you, like, this is my page, the Online Supplemental Instructor Leader, and you can see my intro video, and then if you scroll, there's things to know, plan for success online, and then a couple of videos that relate to weeks 1 and 2. As we progress, there'll be more videos relating to more material, but that's a side note. So if we go all the way to the top, you can go to activities. You have your assignments, discussions, and quizzes. Those are the 3 areas in which you will probably use in every single one of your classes. Groups and surveys aren't really used. Surveys is like the end of the semester survey when you have to grade the class or grade your professor on what you've gotten out of it. It'll show up down here. But for this class, your primary resource is going to be discussions, because most of your quizzes and your homework are going to be done in the My Math lab. So for discussions, right now we have our introductory discussion, week 1 discussion, and then you have the supplemental instructor area, which is where my discussions will be. Now, the easiest way I've learned over a couple years taking online courses to view a discussion, if you've done your initial post and you're looking to respond to other people, go to grid view. Okay? This is going to bring up this right here. So you see everybody's, but if you notice there's little arrows, you can close those out so it becomes simpler. Now the reason I like grid view is because if you're in a class that requires discussions and you have to post like 2 responses for the week or 3 responses for the week, you can't remember how many you did, and it's Saturday and you only got 1 more day to do everything, you can go here and you can see, search for your name, or look and just say, oh, okay, I responded to that person, click. That's my original. Cool. I responded to that person. Click. And then that way you go through and you're like, okay, 1 response, 2 response, 1, 2, and then this one's mine. So it's easier to track that way. The other thing that you might want to know, which is a really cool feature I find with the new D2L, is if you go to progress, you have all of this stuff. Grades obviously shows you your grades, but class progress, if you go here, See, I won't have any grades received, but grades received, objectives, so in progress past, content, what you've actually gone through for the semester. This helps when you get to like the middle of the semester and you can't remember what you've been to. Discussions, how many you've read, what threads are yours, so when you've started a discussion, how many replied posts you have. Assignments. So this is a good way, and this is brand new to D2L, but this is a good way to keep track of everything. So how much you've accessed the course. You can see I'm pretty steadily accessing this course. And then of course your login history, so how often you logged in and for how much time. It tracks all of that, which is really good for you and your professor. Your professor can see this also. I can't see it for you guys, but it helps you keep track. So if you had grades in here or waiting on things to be graded, it'll all be in here. Same with assignments. So pertaining to all classes, this is always here for all of your classes, and it's a really cool tool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to the home page. So click on the main link and it brings you back to the home page. And we're going to go over here to the right hand side to My Math Lab. We go here, it's going to bring up a different screen, and mine's probably going to look a little different than yours. You click on your class, the MAT 121, and make sure it's for the dates, because if you've taken this class before, you still have fall open, you've used My Math Lab last semester, make sure you double check the dates. So we're going to click on here, and then what you're first going to see is the home page. So things that are due. So we have a whole bunch of stuff due Monday. Monday by midnight. You have to have everything turned in. There's announcements, so if anything's posted as an announcement here, you could, excuse me, you can see your overall score, submission progress, etc. So this is your main page. Now what's good about the main page is if you have stuff due, say Monday, as you can see, if you hover over it, it's going to show you exactly what's due. So your homework and the quiz. If you've completed some of this, of course, that's not going to show up. But this is an easy way of knowing. You can also skip ahead and you can hover and it'll show you the next week's stuff due. So that's a cool little feature. They did that this, I think last semester. Sorry, it wasn't available with My Math Lab previously. We have the Plus version. And then what to work on next, it'll give you what's due next. So obviously I have not completed anything. I've just gone through everything. I'm not actually a student in the class seeking a grade, so unfortunately, hopefully you have some of this done, at least 1.3 going on to 11.1 since everything's due tomorrow. Don't procrastinate in this class. So if you click on one, so 1.3 homework, it's going to bring you to the homework screen. You'll have your questions. Now you can click on one of these individually or as you go through. If you start with question 1, that's going to take you through all the way to question 14. Other ways to get to this area. So if you're at the course home page and you don't use these easy links and you want to look at, say, your next upcoming assignments, everything is listed underneath the homework tab. So if you wanted to jump ahead, if you already did 1 and 2, it's not popping up with next week's stuff, go ahead and go to the homework and start working on stuff. Same thing with quizzes and tests. So if it's not popping up, you want to get ahead, go to quizzes and tests, and they are all here. Now, with the quizzes, you'll notice that you have 2 attempts. And you have, a time limit to get them done in. So make sure that if you get a not so okay score on a quiz, you do have a second attempt. Go back through the homework. You can redo those questions and then retake the quiz. So that's that. You can go to your gradebook. I'm not going to have anything on here, remember, but once you have some grades in here that you've already completed homework and quizzes, they will show up here, and it'll give you what you submitted, and then list everything down here at the bottom. You can also use Study Plan. This is your e-text, so if you don't have the physical book, use the e-text. It's very similar. And then, of course, they have Tools for Success and stuff like that. So those are the ones you'd use the most. Course Home, Homework, Quizzes and Tests, Gradebook, and that's your MyMathLab Plus. So be sure to click around. This is where the majority of your work for the semester is going to be, other than your discussions. So it's really good to get to know this area. Other than that, you could simply go to the tab and click out. It signs you out, or you can click sign out, and you're back at this front page. So going back to the class, that is a great synopsis for what to expect, where everything is, where to find things. If you guys have any questions or need tutorials on anything else, please do let me know. Otherwise, hopefully you guys have had a good start of the semester and we can continue. Have fun.